favorite show is Run That Back, Aladdin and Deja Perez, and today we're doing something special. We teamed up with Tunnel Vision, and it's all about giving back.
Yes, absolutely. So we're here. Al is actually gonna play a little.
Yeah, I'm gonna play.
He's gonna get a little 1-2 on. We'll see how we do. But in the meantime, all the proceeds will benefit the Breonna Taylor Foundation, among some other really great organizations as well. So you don't want to miss it.
Hey, listen, we're gonna talk to a lot of celebrities. A lot of great people are coming through. Breonna Taylor's family will be here as well. Really epic day. I'm trying to tell you. You know what time it is. It's time for us to run it. Man, I'm so speechless because this is the reason we are here. We are here with the first cousin of Tawanna Ford, Tawanna, and she's representing the Breonna Taylor Foundation, family member of Breonna Taylor. How are you doing, and how do you feel about this wonderful event that we put on?
It's surreal. We were talking about this yesterday. Annapolis never knew Breonna physically, but the world has been able to be introduced to Breonna nationally and worldwide, and it is an honor. It is a great honor. We just have no words, you know, to see a city who has decided that her life mattered, and they are showing that. And love is an action. You can't say I love someone and you don't show that. And this city has embraced our movement, embraced our tragedy, has been kind, considerate, and has shown compassion back to our family in our tragedy. And we struggle every day to get up. We struggle every day to continue to fight for justice, not just for Breonna, but for everyone that has experienced this kind of injustice. And we won't stop fighting until we get the justice that we seek, not what they want to give us, and we get the justice for the other families they didn't give it to either.
Wow, so powerful. What is this weekend meant to you?
I think my life has always been fast moving, but it's just been on autopilot all weekend. But I'm used to it because, like I said, this tragedy has catapulted our family into social justice reform movements, and we have become advocates of all kinds of change. We're meeting with congressmen, senators, legislators, delegates, and just everyday people who have been pouring love into us. And I don't think if it was not for those individuals that are pouring this kind of love, we wouldn't be able to get up and do it every day. So keep doing this here in Maryland. Keep doing this here in Annapolis. Keep saying her name, because the goal is that they don't forget. And as long as we stay loud and our family is loud, we know that her name will continue to resonate everywhere, and we can get those changes that we seek.
And I am so sorry for your loss. She honestly touched the world, and it gives me chills to stand here and talk to you about it, because I don't know how you guys are still.
That was Breonna. Breonna was alive. Breonna was our live child. She was a one that was persistent to make sure that people mattered. Even her career choice, she loved people. She loved to love on people
and service,
and she loved to be of service. We worry more about her catching COVID and getting either gravely sick or dying from COVID. We begged her to, take a break from the medical field at that time. And she told us, no, this is what I signed up for. These people need to be cared for. And so this tragedy was the last thing our family thought would happen to Breonna.
Absolutely.
And we have had these conversations about Sandra Bland, Tiana Jefferson. We have had these conversations, but it is not something that you could imagine. No. We grieved for those families, but it is not the kind of grief that you experience when you actually are in this position. And every day is a struggle. Every day we try to hold back these tears and show this front to the world that we're strong enough to continue this fight. But you know what we do know is that God is real. We've always been a faith-believing family, and we know that God does nothing without purpose.
Absolutely. And I know we always say her name, which we will forever do, but I want you to shed a little light on Breonna as a young girl, I just want to know a little more. She's captivated the world, and we get so caught up in this moment, but I want to know like the essence of Breonna as a little girl.
I think I kind of explained it. Breonna was life. She believed in smiling, even through the death of Tamika's mom, her grandmother, who was her best friend.
Oh wow.
She held us together.
Oh my gosh.
She helped us to understand that death is not final, that it's crossing over to a better place. And she helped us to smile through her grandmother's death, through Tamika's mother's death. And she always was the life of the party. No matter, she loved a party. She always planned our parties. She always made sure, even because you know families are complicated. Even when you have those rifts within your family, she reminded us they're not important enough to separate us. Absolutely. And so I know she's looking down and she is so happy because there are cities that at one point could not find the ways or the means to come together. Right. And because of her story and because of the tragedy behind her story, there are now people who are woke.
All the way woke.
Who are completely woke. And I am honored because I know our young generation has waken up.
Yes, yes.
That's what I've always been looking for is, okay, what is it gonna take for our young people to finally see what us older folks have been seeing quite some time
and experiencing
sometimes. So Breonna was life. We always say she had an old soul because for her age to understand the importance of family, to understand the importance of unconditional love, to understand how to pour into people, even when sometimes she didn't have enough for herself. To be able to pour into people, but she did refresh herself every day. She was a go-getter. She was like, I'm gonna get this. I mean, her last text, her last Instagram and Facebook post. This 2020 was supposed to be her year. 2020 was that year she was gonna buy a house. 2020 was that year she was gonna start a family. 2020 was that year that she was gonna marry the love of her life, Kenneth Walker. And God said, I have another plan for you, something bigger. He catapulted her into martyr status that is just producing change all over the world. And for that is what keeps us going. That is what we know Breonna was. That is what we know Breonna will want us to continue doing. And we're gonna do it until we have no more breath left.
And we will definitely make sure we continue to use our platform. And being that we are in the nation's capital, they passed Breonna's law.
Yes.
You know, what do you think is something we need to do to continue to push through all the states?
Keep contacting your local senators, your congressmen, your legislators. Keep contacting your delegates, your councilwomen and councilmen, because as long as they know that it matters to us, we are going to continue to strive to push them, to push issues into that Capitol, into the Capitol Congress, and that matters to us, because sometimes they go over there and then they get these positions and they forget what's important. You know, and I know in that department, in this world of federal government, it can become very complicated. But I think that for us as citizens and just as families that have been through these kinds of tragedies, we call every day. We're on the phone with legislators every day. We're having meetings, which me and Tamika have just recently done in Lansing, Michigan, to get Breonna Taylor law on the books. And we've worked with representatives to create these bills. And then we have a Justice for All bill in Michigan that is slated to hit the floor for a vote and coming up very soon. So, like I said, these were things that we knew we would do when we got old and we were ready to retire because we always been an advocating family. But like I said, God had other plans. So keep saying her name. Keep contacting your local legislations, the government. Keep announcing this on your radio stations, because the world needs to continue to say her name. If it gets too quiet, things will go back to the same. There will be no progress. So as long as we are loud, and I'm loud. They give me a bullhorn and I march in Grand Rapids, Michigan every day. So I'm marching. And then they don't even have to give me a bullhorn, I'm so loud. But we don't know how to give up. Our grandmother taught us not to give up, not to settle, not to let people walk on you. You have to take what you want. I mean, Martin Luther King them have shown us we have to take what we want. And we have to make sure that they know that we are serious and we will not stop until we get it.
And sincerely, we continue to pray for your family, and we're pouring love. I don't know if you know it or
we feel it here. This is my second home. Annapolis is my home away from home. I have left Michigan and came here and feel like I'm still at home.
Absolutely.
And that is great, because there are so many cities that are not. So many cities that are asleep, so many cities that do not address these issues. Annapolis is standing at the forefront. They're doing these police reforms. They're taking charge of social reform, and that is to be commended, but it's also to be followed, and you guys need to continue fighting.
And we will.
Don't give up.
Absolutely.
Continue to say her name.
Yes, please.
Continue to say her name. Breonna Taylor, Breeway. These are our shirts. We do not play. I wear Breonna every day.
Yes.
We go everywhere with Breonna.
Yes.
And if you want any Breeway gear, hit the foundation site, Breonna Taylor Foundation. There's a link that will take you to the store to get any Breonna Taylor wear that you wish to have.
Perfect. I did not know that. Thank you.
Donations there
You can also make donations on the Breonna Taylor Foundation site.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really do. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you. I am honored. This is an honor.
We're honored by you. Thank you.
Thank you.